Hey everybody. So I got some words that it's really quite common sense, but there's some pretty. The implications could be huge because it shows how prevalent, especially here in America. Um, it goes back the churches, man. I mean, I hate to say it, and again, I think that the churches have been invaded and infiltrated to such. I mean, they targeted that shit 100%, man. They went in there deep, like they've gotten a full like control over 90. I'd say about 9. I have no intuitively. I'm saying about 90% of the church, probably even a little bit more than that, is under complete satanic control. When I say satanic, I mean oppressive, negative people against life, people who are here to trick humanity, to lowering their vibrations, and to keep them here as slaves. I think about 90% of the churches around the whole world are operating under that guise. And I've said this, there's many different reasons why, but one thing that can really help shed light on this is just to think about the whole act of circumcision. Let's just try to think about that. So we're created by God. Okay, he created this whole vessel, this being and everything around you that you see right now. Do you think like he would create, it's like, where did that idea come from? Like, did God he created us in his image just for us to be created, and from him to realize we're created, and then for us somehow to get this idea that we need to cut, the tip of our penis off? I forget, because why they say, because it makes you, I'm sure there's some reason. And my dad told me they did it because it's supposed to keep you from getting diseases, which doesn't make sense because, I mean, if anything, that would make you more prone to diseases because you're cutting the foreskin, which the foreskin, I mean, it just looks like it's more protection. I mean, it's another layer over the end of your penis. So you'd think that would actually help protect against diseases. But my dad always was like, because I was always like, why do they do that? It doesn't make any sense. It's not the natural way a penis is supposed to look, but everybody gets cut and they say it's this medical procedure that's, it's supposed to make you so you don't get cancer on your disease on your dick. And it's like, okay, sure. They say this is how you got to be careful. Like, they say things like that to make you feel like they care about you and that it's for your own good and that they're actually looking out for you. And not only does that, it fucks you because they're building on your trust, so they're playing with your heartstrings, but they're also hurting you because they're cutting your dick off, parts of your dick off. And I think they've done this for various reasons. It gets really disgusting. For one, let's just be honest, there is a lot of child pedophilia in the churches, especially in the Catholic churches. But pedophilia is something that seems to be all over the place. It's under the table, but it's all over. So if you're an adult who has interest on raping children, and if you cut the foreskin off of a penis, that's making the penis more sensitive, and you're in a position to where you can get children in a private space, and you have an authority over these children, and you can manipulate them and influence them to do certain things, and it's just setting the atmosphere up to make that situation more easily able. When you make things more sensitive, it doesn't take much to get a sense out of that part of the body, and then once that sense goes, people start opening up to things, and then before you know it, you're doing something you never would have done if not this dude come in here and got you in this small space and started touching you in areas. It is what it is, bro. It's been a huge fucking setup against all of mankind. It's really gone down hardcore here in America because we are the ones that have been fighting against this beast fucking evil system harder and longer. We've just been fighting against it. I'm not saying we're better than anybody, but I mean, we've moved away. This spirit of America has continued to want to move away. We're all from all different parts of the world, but one thing that we have in common is we've all left those other parts of the world to come here, largely because we realize the other parts of the world are fucked up and we don't want to be a part of it. We want something different. So because we are something that is different, something that wants to be more pure, the beast has followed us because he knows we're the real threat to it. We still haven't been dominated. That's why they had to come in here like that. That's why they had to come here and snip us and force all these things. And the pornography is a huge issue. Okay, so now when you go back into the cutting of the foreskin, then they introduced this thing called pornography and strip clubs and sex on TV and television all over the place. Plus you have all these dudes with super sensitive dicks walking around with these tight-ass jeans and these underpants all the time, feeling fucking all sorts of sensations all the time. Then they have naked girls and fucking dudes all over the place. Like, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be a fucking plethora of sexual perversion, which is exactly what we have. Tell me that's not by design. It is by design. God would not have he would not have done things to set us up in this type of a way. Who told us to cut our foreskin? Really? I mean, if you go back into the Bible, I haven't even done it. I was going to, but I decided not to because it doesn't make any good godly sense. Not one good godly sense. No other animal in nature has its foreskin cut off. And none of those animals in nature have problems with their penises. Okay? And I'm sure that there's other Aboriginal tribes in other countries around the world who don't cut off. I know there is. There's other who don't do it. And I haven't even done the statistics. Maybe I should. But I don't feel like they have a higher level of disease in their penises than people who do. So it's all a scam. And not only, okay, it's a scam by the churches, but the churches are so powerful. This is what I'm saying. They're so powerful. They have their hands tied around the medical industry. They are one and the same. This is why when you go back to the codices, I mean, it's all, they're telling you what they do. They lie to you. They're here for profit. They're here to fuck us over. They're here to steal from us. They're here to make us weaker, not to help us. That is the image they portray. That is their sell. That is their trick. They are the tricksters. They are tricking us, and we are falling for their bait. And it's all over the place. And people continue to want to go to these churches thinking that it's the right thing to do, and they're just being cursed every single day. And it's not even, it's their fault because they're not looking at what these churches are doing, which is nothing. But they continue to do it every day because they haven't figured out, they actually haven't really read their Bible and really appreciated the information in the Bible. Because if they did, they would see that these churches are not doing what Jesus was talking about us doing, which is taking care of the least, which is helping out the needy, which is loving ourselves, which is not perpetuating evil, which is living in harmony with things. Okay, people don't want to admit that the lifestyle they live is not harmonious. That's a big problem. That's a big problem why we need to leave these cities, is because it's not a harmonious life. Every time that we continue to live and work in these cities, we are perpetuating another creature's demise. It's that simple. Okay, I know it's inconvenient. You guys don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Okay, and there is another way to live. You guys just don't want to deal with it, but that's your own fault, man. It's not, I mean, we've created this problem, and now you guys have become dependent on the problem. So you have to make a choice. Do you want to continue perpetuating the problem, or do you want to perpetuate a solution? Do you want to be on God's side or the other side? It's just, it is what it is. So I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.